Hey, fifth grade, I hope all is well. Today, for health, we're going to be talking about flexibility and your bones. This is going to cover page 71 to the first half of 73. So, first of all, physical growth continues until you are an adult. Um, some of us may seem to stop growing at earlier ages than others, but it's just a much slower growth at that point. The older you are, the more slowly your size changes. So, most people, when they become a teenager, they may not seem to get very much taller at all. And that may be the case, but there are other parts of our body that are growing, that are changing. It's not just like the top of your head getting higher up, you're still growing some. Even when you are done growing taller, your cells keep dividing and multiplying to replace worn out cells for as long as you live. It's a constant process. Your skeleton has 206 bones. If you break a bone and those bones have to heal to fuse together, that's still going to be 206 bones. Unless there's some kind of birth defect or something like that, everyone has 206 bones in their bodies. Your bony skull is like a built-in helmet. It protects your brain from bumps and bruises. Now, if you're riding a bike or skateboarding or something like that, you should still be wearing a helmet because our skull is only so good of a helmet. It could use some extra help if you're doing something dangerous like that. Your bony ribs form a cage that protects your heart and your lungs. Some people call it the rib cage because if you've ever seen a skeleton, it looks kind of like bars on a cage, like a dog cage or something. It is a way to protect your heart and lungs, though. Your feet contain nearly 1/4 of the bones in your body and can carry you approximately 70,000 miles in your lifetime. So even though your feet are pretty small, they contain about 25% of your bones. They have so many different tiny bones in your feet. The next time you're barefoot, feel your feet and see if you can feel all the separations of the different bones where they join together at the joints. You have so many tiny ones down in your feet. Your spinal column is made up of 33 vertebrae, including the sacrum and the coccyx. That is also called the tailbone. And they form a long bony tube which protects the delicate nerves of your spinal cord. If your spinal cord is injured, that can cause some serious complications for movement because your vertebrae, your spinal cord, all those nerves there, helps you stand up properly, but it also helps you bend, stoop, twist, and turn. All those bones and nerves and muscles work together to cause most of the movement of your body. If you have a vertebrae injury, that's going to seriously cause you issues with walking. I know recently my mom injured her vertebrae and she was put off work for a while because she couldn't really walk or do much until that healed up. So it's super important to make sure you're taking care of your vertebrae. Some bones manufacture blood cells. They do this in the bone marrow. Your red blood cells wear out quickly at a rate of at least 3 million every second. But your bone marrow produces new red blood cells just as quickly as they're destroyed. So even though you're constantly losing red blood cells because they're going all over your body, they're doing the work that they were created to do, you're also constantly producing new ones. So unless you have a cut or some sort of injury, you're not going to be losing blood quicker than your body is producing it. Exercise is also super important to help keep your joints flexible. If you do not keep those joints flexible, then it's going to be harder to bend and stretch and just live a normal daily life doing different physical activities. So if you are keeping those joints flexible, if you stretch, if you do yoga, anything like that, then that's going to help your overall health a lot. You should never bounce or jerk while stretching because overstretching means loss of flexibility and injury. When you're stretching, you should be making slow, steady movements. You're stretching until it just starts to feel tight, and then you hold it for a few seconds, and then you release. this is making sense, 5th grade. If you have any questions, of course, reach out to me on Jupiter, reach out to me on Zoom. Stay safe. See you soon.